Hello, it is me, Alex the Hunted, and today I am doing a very, well, let's say it's a clickbaity video because I'm ill and I'm not above doing these things when I am in the middle of doing a bigger video. So, this will tide you over while I make the other stuff happen. And as you can see, I am doing a tier list because everybody is doing a tier list at the moment, and I feel like I have to join on this bandwagon and take part. So, as I have here, I have every single Godzilla design from, well, that we know of, from the comics, from the official movies, into the American movies, and unused concepts that were never used. And I thought I'd just rank them from my favourite designs and all round of the actual interpretation of that Godzilla, to from my favourites to the ones I don't really like at all. So let's get it started with the Marvel Godzilla. Now, I haven't actually seen a lot of this comic. I've read a few of them, but mostly because most of the actual full comics are mostly lost, really. But this Godzilla as a design, it's a bit of a mixed bag. For one, I definitely like the face the face sculpt, how it's more like a monstrous sort of look than an actual lizard. Like he basically has daggers for teeth. It's how I would see a kid drawing Godzilla, sort of thing. I don't like the green colour. I just don't think Godzilla should be green. And really, it sort of reminds me of those old Godzilla toys you could get when you were young, which I had, and I think most kids had. So it's not a bad design. It's just above average. So I think I will put it in B. Aha! Now we have the anime Godzilla eye. Well, I call him anime Godzilla because he has big anime eyes, the ones that we saw in Godzilla vs. Megalon and Mechagodzilla and Terror of Mechagodzilla. The big, cute eyes. This was when Godzilla was full hero, and he was doing all the hero stuff, even doing hero poses. It was like full hero stuff, and it's a decent design. This is full hero Godzilla, and I think it's a Godzilla design that most of us know about, but it's a very average design, so I'm going to put it at C. The Hanna-Barbera Godzilla. It's not a lot of Godzilla. It doesn't even have the roar. It's basically Godzilla in name, mostly in name only, but it's definitely a good Godzilla. I definitely enjoy it. I definitely like him. I just, I think it's another average. It's another C Godzilla. The Return of Godzilla. Now, I know a lot of people really do like this design. I'm not one of them because, well, there are too many shots in this movie where Godzilla's eyes just make him look gormless and stupid. It's not a very good look for him, so I think I'm probably going to have to put him at D because I don't think the head's a good shape. Now we get to the proper Heisei Godzilla designs. Now this one I believe is the one from Godzilla vs. Mothra Battle for the Earth. It's pretty much the standard Heisei design. It's a very good design. I really like it. I think it's an A. Same can be said. I believe this one is the Mech vs. King Ghidorah design. Yeah, it's another A. The Godzilla vs. Charles Barkley Godzilla. Yes, this one is also for grabs. It's actually one of the few Godzilla head sculpts that actually has more motion in the eyes. His eyes move and stuff like that, which is one of the few Godzilla toys that actually do that. One of the few Godzilla designs that actually do that. But it's a joke. It's a joke Godzilla. It's a C. This, I believe, was an unused design for the '98 Godzilla movie. It was basically just making Godzilla look like a T-Rex. I don't think it's very good, honestly. It's basically just a T-Rex with Godzilla fins on the back. It's an F. Another Heisei Godzilla. It's just an awesome Godzilla. It's an awesome design. It's an A. This Godzilla, well, this picture doesn't do it any justice. I think this is the... I'm not really sure which one this one is. Not really myself, but it definitely is a... I think it's a B. This Heisei Godzilla is straight S. It's the best Godzilla design, I think, ever. It's absolutely the best. So goes the vs. Destroyer design. The other unused '98 Godzilla design is decent. It's a pretty decent design. I actually would have liked to have seen this one in the 98 Godzilla movie, only not get killed. But, you know, I think it's definitely a decent... Like, it's a cross between an actual dinosaur and a Godzilla design. I think it's a good design. I'll give it a B. The original 1954 Godzilla is iconic. It just depends on which one you're looking at, because there's the puppet Godzilla that we see, which has very goofy eyes and a very goofy head sculpt. But then we have the suit Godzilla, which looks really, really good. But, you know, it's the first Godzilla, so I can't give it... I can't help but give it an A. I really think that needs to be said more. That's just where it belongs. The cartoon 98 Godzilla. I actually like this design a lot more because they beef him up. They give him more of a muscular figure. You know, they bulk him up. He actually looks a bit more like Godzilla. He still looks like a 98 Godzilla, but he looks a bit more like Godzilla, and I definitely think it's a much better design. And they actually give him atomic breath, for God's sake. So yeah, that's another B. This comic Godzilla I have not seen, so I can't really judge it. I'm just going off this small picture. I can't really make much of a judge, so I will put it in the middle. The 2000s Godzilla it's a decent Godzilla again, in my opinion. I don't think it's a bit too everything in a way. Like there's a bit too many spikes, a bit too much here, there, and everything. I think. Not a great. I don't think it's a bad design, but I don't think it's a great design. So I think I'll put it at C again. The Giant Monsters All Out Attack Godzilla is from my favourite Godzilla movie. That's going straight up into S. The Godzilla from the Kiryu Saga, one of my least favourite Godzillas in terms of appearance, because, well, he looks just really, really weak. But in terms of design, he's actually a pretty good design. He definitely looks a bit more animal, less lizard than most other Godzillas. So I think, really, apart from him being just portrayed as really, really weak, I think I'm giving him a B. Final Wars Godzilla is just an absolute badass in every single way. I'm putting an A. The Always Sunny Godzilla, it seems to be a bit of a mix between the Giant Monsters All Out Attack Godzilla and the Kiryu Saga Godzilla. It's a bit of a mixed bag again. It's got very limited screen time, but what we did see looked great, so I think it's a B. The Kingdom of Monsters Godzilla, Rulers of Earth Godzilla. It's a great design. It basically looks like Godzilla. It's the most millennium-looking Millennium Godzilla in a way. It's definitely a good design. I'm giving it a... Actually, no, it's a really good design. I'm giving it an S. The Snickers Godzilla. I just need to fill out D. That's where I'm putting that one. The 2014 Godzilla it's an alright design. It just has parts. I think the spines are too small and the feet are just wrong. But it's a very average design in my opinion. I'm giving it a C. I believe this is the Godzilla from the Return of Godzilla. Sorry, Godzilla Raids Again. It is an awful Godzilla because it's very cheaply made, very cheaply put together. I think it's an F. Shin Godzilla is a very unique take on Godzilla. I love it. It's a very interesting design, very, very well put together. I think it's a very well executed take on Godzilla. I will give it an A. Earth Godzilla, I don't like the design. I don't like the presentation. I just do not like it. I don't think, but that's saying I don't think it's a terrible design. It's just not a good. It's a D for me. The King of the Monsters Godzilla is another great design. I think that's an A. It's not perfect, but it's a refinement of the original, of the 2014 design. Definitely makes it look a lot better. The King Kong vs Godzilla is when Godzilla started to look really goofy in the early Showa era. He has an incredibly gormless face on him all the time. He doesn't look particularly menacing, honestly, so I don't think it's a bad, so I think I'll give it a C. Same can be said for the versus Mothra Godzilla. It's another average design, I think. I believe this one's from Godzilla vs the Sea Monster. Not a particularly... it's a very average Godzilla. Again, this is another very average Godzilla suit. This Godzilla, again, the eyebrows on this Godzilla. This one's from Ghidorah the Three-Headed Monster. Very goofy, very, very, very goofy. I think that's a D. I believe this one's the Godzilla that we all know from like Destroy All Monsters and the versus Gigan and versus Ghidorah. I love this design. I think it's a great design. It's probably the most iconic Showa Godzilla design. I think I will give it a... B, is where I will put this one. Son of Godzilla Godzilla. The Son of Godzilla Godzilla looks awful. It's an F. Honestly, it's a really bad Godzilla design. And finally, this Godzilla, which I believe is the... Actually, no, I believe this was the Destroy All Monsters and Godzilla's Revenge Godzilla, I think. One of the two. Not a... it's again, very average. You know, it's above average Godzilla design, and that's just how I see it. And that's my thoughts. That's what I think about this. That's how I rank all the Godzilla designs on this list. Tell me what you think in the comments below. It's I'm sure this will go down well. Some people are going to hate my picks, and some people are going to love my picks. Tell me what you think in the comments below. I'll put a link to this tier list in the description, so you can make your own tier list and all that stuff. Make sure to comment, subscribe, and all that good stuff, and I will see you guys next time. Bye bye.